Welcome to the deep dive. We've gathered your sources, articles, research notes to really get into what everyone's calling the AI boom. But, looking through the material, it feels more like an AI spring. It seems distinct from those past AI winters.
Right, because this time we have tangible, commercially viable generative AI. That's the key difference.
And that's largely thanks to the transformer architecture, right?
Yeah.
Which lets AI handle language and context in a way we just haven't seen before. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit.
Well, what's really fascinating, and maybe a bit concerning, are the paradoxes emerging in this AI spring.
Paradoxes, like what?
Well, for one, you have this massive, almost unbelievable capital investment from big tech. Huge sums of money.
Okay.
But their actual financial health, it's diverging quite sharply. Not what you might expect.
Interesting.
And then there's this puzzling gap between what AI can do, the capability, and how reliably it performs in the real world.
The capability-reliability gap. Yeah, I saw that mention.
Exactly. And finally, the workforce transition. It's complex, not the simple robots take jobs story. It really defies those easy narratives.
Absolutely. So our mission today for you listening is to dive into these complexities. We want to highlight some surprising facts from the sources and offer some insights. Help make sense of what this AI spring means for your world. You mentioned AI winters. We're talking, mid-70s, late 80s, times when the promises just fizzled out.
Pretty much computing power hit limits, or the tech just wasn't ready. Maybe specialized hardware went obsolete almost overnight. Big promises, little delivery.
But this spring is different. Generative AI is the engine. Things like large language models, LLMs, image generators, they're actually doing things, transforming industries already.
That's the core point, the commercial viability. That's what sets us apart. Previous winters often happened because the tech failed to meet the hype.
Right.
Today, these models have real, demonstrable uses. Customer service, drug discovery, content creation, it's widespread.
So that adoption provides a kind of buffer against a total funding collapse like we saw before.
Arguably, yes. It creates a stronger foundation, but...
There's always a but.
Well, despite this utility, the sources point to a, let's say, significant fragility in the market. Maybe even a dangerous one.
How so? You mentioned the big investments. Microsoft, Meta, planning nearly $100 billion by 2026. That sounds robust.
It sounds huge, and it is. That level of spending is actually boosting U.S. GDP figures. But look closer.
Okay.
Over $500 billion invested across the board, yet combined earnings from AI initiatives. Only around $35 billion so far.
Wow, that's quite a gap.
It is. And while net income for major tech players has surged, their free cash flow, the actual cash they generate, has dropped by about 30%.
So where's the value capture? What's the holdup?
The deeper insight seems to be less about just using AI tools and more about fundamentally re-engineering how people work with them. That capability-reliability gap again.
Right.
Remember those studies showing even experienced software developers using AI tools could actually perform slower?
Yeah, that seemed counterintuitive.
It reveals the bottleneck isn't necessarily the AI's power. It's our ability, or lack thereof, to effectively orchestrate that human-AI collaboration to get real-world productivity gains.
So it's not just plug and play. It's about true integration. And these economic shifts, they naturally lead us to that other paradox, the workforce. Lots of fear about mass unemployment.
Understandably so. But the picture, as the sources suggest, is much more nuanced.
Goldman Sachs, for instance, seems skeptical about widespread job losses.
They are skeptical of huge overall reductions, yes. But they do estimate maybe 6% to 7% of U.S. jobs could be directly replaced.
Okay, that's still significant.
It is, and it could cause a temporary unemployment spike, especially during a transition period. But crucially, it seems highly targeted.
Targeted how?
Jobs heavy on repetitive tasks. Think some types of computer programming, accounting roles, legal assistance. Those seem most at risk. And we're already seeing some data suggesting higher unemployment for younger entry-level workers in fields exposed to AI.
But it's not all doom and gloom, right? The sources also talk about new roles being created.
Absolutely. This shift creates demand for entirely new skill sets. Prompt engineers, people who specialize in getting the best out of AI models.
Right, I've heard of those.
And AI ethics specialists, AI literacy trainers. It's becoming a whole ecosystem.
So it sounds less like wholesale replacement and more like augmentation, upskilling.
Precisely. The workforce isn't just being replaced, it's being reshaped, augmented. The big imperative now is upskilling, preparing people for jobs that need creativity, critical thinking, human oversight things. AI, for now, doesn't do well. It's a fundamental rethink of required skills.
And these pressures, the economic ones, the workforce shifts, they aren't just happening in one country. This is global.
Definitely. It's fueling a global race. We're seeing nations pursue what's being called sovereign AI.
Sovereign AI, meaning countries want their own AI, built on their own infrastructure, using their own data.
Exactly. Reducing dependency on, say, U.S. or Chinese tech giants. Building domestic capability. It's leading to a kind of fragmentation of the global digital landscape.
Okay, so let's try to pull this together.
Well, to summarize, this AI boom, this AI spring, it's genuinely transformative, but it's defined by these ongoing paradoxes.
Right, the economic fragility despite soaring investment.
The very nuanced evolution of the workforce, not just replacement, but augmentation and shifts.
And this global race for sovereign AI potentially changing geopolitical tech dynamics.
Correct.
And underlying all of this, it's not just a tech shift. It feels like a profound societal one. It challenges everything: legal frameworks, ethics, economics.
From intellectual property and copyright
Yeah.
to data privacy and how we handle algorithmic bias, the foundations are being tested.
Yeah.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. AI capabilities are accelerating, really rapidly. Some predictions put human-level intelligence potentially as early as 2026. Researchers give it a 50% chance by 2047.
Wow. Whether you believe those specific dates or not, the trend is clear.
Exactly. So the question becomes, how do we, as individuals, as societies, prepare for a future where AI operates with much more autonomy? What steps should you be considering right now to navigate this? Especially when we might need completely novel solutions. Think hallucination insurance, just to manage the inherent risks and unpredictability of these powerful systems. What's your plan?